All right. Hey there, and welcome to this episode. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt, and I am the founder of Restored Minds and the creator of the AAA Response. And on this episode, I want to talk about this idea of living with uncertainty, or how to live with uncertainty, because this is a very common question. And this is in many ways, like the foundation of the entire experience of recovery, right? Because recovery is not this destination that you get to. That's like one of the myths that I think people believe in, is that, someday I'm going to reach this destination called recovery, when really recovery is a decision that you embark on each day. Am I going to engage in compulsions or safety behaviors that are going to reinforce the loop? Or am I going to do the things that I know that are actually going to get me better? And that's the decision of recovery. Now, in order to do that, oftentimes we have to live with uncertainty. So let's talk about just some kind of practical ideas with living with uncertainty. So the very first belief that I think needs to be challenged is this idea that I need certainty about whatever topic it is that you're afraid of, right? This belief that you need to be certain that fill in the blank, X, Y, and Z. I never hit someone with a car. I'm not going to turn into a serial killer. These thoughts don't mean anything. I'm never going to get a disease, right? Like whatever topic. This is why I always say the content doesn't matter, because whatever topic you're caught on, and then again, this is assuming, of course, that you're caught on a topic if you're listening to the show, but whatever topic you're caught on, that's not the problem. The problem is that you have this underlying belief, which again, a belief is just a story that you repetitively tell yourself and that you assume to be true. So you have this belief that you need to be certain about it, that everyone else is certain about it, and for some reason you need certainty about it. Okay, so like that's the very, very first step, is understanding that that's a belief. Because the reality is there is no such thing as certainty in this world. No matter how much you believe that there is such thing as certainty, there's not. And thinking that so the idea of how to live with uncertainty stems from this belief that there is such thing as certainty, and how do I have uncertainty, so that's not good, and that I need to change that, and I need to be certain about whatever it is that I think I need to be certain about. Letting go of that idea is critical, and even changing that one belief. I remember I was on one of the group coaching calls that we run at Restored Minds, and if you're looking for support, and if you've never checked out our group program, at the very least, that's an incredible place to start if you are looking for support. But I remember one of my people in the community was talking about how, like, the biggest changing factor on their journey, right, was the day they realized that they were maintaining this belief that I need to be certain about this topic before I can go on living my life. And that's like the big illusion, right? Is like that's the trap that OCD and anxiety catches you in. I need to be certain about this before I can go on and do anything else in my life. And it couldn't be further from the truth, right? Just letting go of that belief of saying, like, I don't need to be certain about this. I can live without having an answer. And I can actually go and live my life according to my values right now, like that. And that you have that capacity right now. See, because when you think you need certainty, and oftentimes OCD and anxiety latches on to topics and ideas that, again, no one has certainty on, and that you can't even get certainty on these things, no matter how much you tried. In fact, for many of you, I'm imagining, or I would bet anyway, that the harder and harder you've tried to be certain about something, the more and more confused and uncertain you've become. And the paradox is when you let go of trying to be certain about something, you gain more clarity on it. That's the I always say, and I say this again and again and again and again in all my coaching, this is a complete paradox. This entire process is a complete paradox. Like it's almost humorous how paradoxical this whole thing is. And what I mean by that is like the exact thing you think you should do is oftentimes the exact thing you shouldn't do, and vice versa. And so when you're seeking certainty because you don't want to live with uncertainty, the question isn't, okay, I need to just feel uncertain and pretend that I'm okay. It's you know what? I don't need to be certain about this to actually effectively live my life, because the reality is no one is certain about this. No matter how much the illusion is that you think everyone else knows and is certain for 100% fact of whatever it is that you're talking about, there is no such thing as certainty. When my wife and we went on a little trip this past week, there was no 100% certainty that the plane was going to take off and land safely, because that's impossible to have. Now, there was a very, very overwhelming likelihood that that was going to happen, and it did happen, and I wasn't worried about it in the slightest. But these are things that we live with as humans. Like in fact, knowing the future, right, which a lot of us think is what would resolve our anxiety, would take all the joy out of life, because there'd be no reason to to move forward, right? Because you already just know what's going to happen, right? The unknown is actually in many ways, like the attractive part of life, because it's that ability to create, and that ability to like, hey, I'm going to move into something and build something, and that unknown, the only way that can happen is if the unknown's there, the uncertainty. So, because if you went into every project just knowing it was going to fail or succeed, it's like it just wouldn't. All the allure would be gone. So the uncertainty is something that we have. It's a great thing, because the unknown allows us the potential to create and to build. To start crafting the life that we want to live. That's what the unknown allows for. So uncertainty is not a bad thing. It's totally normal, and it's part of life, and everyone lives in it. So when you ask, how do you live with uncertainty? Let go of the idea that you need to be certain. I at Restored Minds, we always really focus on the idea of solution-focused models. A huge believer in it. That's why we created the AAA response, instead of, trying to not do compulsions. It's like, hey, do this so that you make sure you aren't doing compulsions. You know what I mean? Like it's like move to the solution. And instead of going problem focused. So on the idea of how to live with uncertainty, I mean, the answer, or the thought I want to communicate here on this episode is the idea of letting go of the belief that you need it to live. Because you don't. You live with uncertainty all the time. Every time you get in a car, every time you get on a plane, every time you eat any food, right? Like there's nothing you can ever be certain about. But the paradox is, when we try to become certain about it, that's when we really can get latched into a loop, and it can create a lot of chaos and disorder in our life. So hope that helps. And and please take this with you, and kind of just try to work with that this week. The other thing I would say is, I just want to let you know that when it comes to this idea of beliefs, I'm going to be running a workshop here this month, August. It's the 1st. And so I have a little link down in the description that will link you to the page where you can, learn more about it and enroll in the workshop. Because we're going to be, going live and talking about beliefs. We're going to be talking about the AAA response. We're going to be talking about breaking out of the loop and what that looks like, the recovery process. So we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. So be sure to check that out and join us, because I think you will find great value in it. And it's really a good way for you to start learning about this stuff from a high level and to really start implementing it in your life. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that ahead of time. Again, the dates it's about 2 weeks from today. So make sure to check that out. Again, enroll as soon as you can, because we want to claim to make sure you claim your spot. It will be live, and we will be posting up the recordings as well. So thank you so much for hanging out today. I hope this was helpful, and I wish you guys a wonderful week. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for watching that video. And so if you're struggling with OCD and anxiety, I just wanted to let you know that we have a free training for you over at Restored Minds, where you can start learning how to use our AAA response to really break out of that loop and ultimately take back control of your life. And all you need to do to access is just click the little link below, and you'll be taken to a page where you can register today. Thank you so much.